This podcast is brought to you by Convo Cloth, the official clothing apparel of the NBC podcast. For the latest apparel, please go to www.nothingbutconvos.com. Now, let's get into the latest episode of the NBC podcast with your boy, S. McCann. What's good, people?
Nothing like it.
It's the NBC podcast with your boy, S. McCann. And this is episode 16, Motivation. And what is your motivation? How are you motivated? Do you need motivation? And in 2020, if that ain't motivate you to do better, hustle, grind, learn something new, shame on you, man. So let's get to this episode, Motivation, episode 16. Yeet. Episode 16, Motivation. So what is motivation? Motivation is the general desire or willingness of someone to do something. And you can probably break this down into 4 categories: drive, ambition, initiative, and determination. The willingness of someone to do something. If you don't have no motivation in 2020 and in 2021, come on, man. This whole pandemic, things that has been going on in the news and all of that, if you're not motivated, or if you don't have no drive or initiative or determination to change something, come on. This is what you need to do in 2021. We all need to change. We all need to evolve into something better, a better version of ourselves, a better version of a man, of a woman, of a mother, of a friend, of a daughter, or a son. Motivation can happen at any time, anywhere, any place. Anything can motivate you. You can see the sun waking up, seeing the sky, that can be motivation. Seeing someone smile, seeing someone get into it, seeing someone else grind, that can be motivation. Someone saying something to you, someone inspiring you to do something, that can be motivation. Your wife waking up on the other side of you every day, that can be motivation. Motivation can have multiple faces, multiple avenues, multiple things that can motivate or you can be motivated by. So what is my motivation? I want to be the best version of me every day. A better husband, man, father, son, brother, and friend. Work-wise, I am motivated to be available, to be accountable, and to be an asset for the center that I work for. And I can go on and on. But growing up without a dad wired my motivation a little bit different than most people. I was told by my family, by whoever, I was going to end up just like my father because I looked just like him. To hear that as a little kid, you like, dang, I can't even make my own way. You already got everything painted for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already got the road that I'm going to go down just because I look like somebody. Now, that's crazy. But let's get into my dad's stats. Was or is, I don't know, a drug addict. Highest level of education was the 8th grade. He couldn't read or write and probably still can't read or write. And what's crazy was my mom took his written driver test for him. My motivation was to exceed all of those expectations that people put on me because I looked like him. And those expectations was shattered. So how I grew up. We had a good life when my dad and my mom was together. My parents had my sister first and then me 4 years later. My parents owned 2 homes. One I can't remember and one I do remember. And I will talk about my childhood in another pod, but this pod is all about that motivation. So let's fast forward to high school, 9th grade. My mom divorced my dad after some years. We moved to Lindenwold, New Jersey, and she got remarried. In Lindenwold, we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I slept on the floor in the living room. And this was all of my high school years and when I attended Camden County College. And so I saved up for my own car. I paid my own car insurance. And during this time, I worked full-time at Virtua Health Hospital in Voorhees, New Jersey. And at Virtua, there I learned a lot about life. I moved out when I was 21, and this was the first time I ever had my own room. At 21 years of age was the first time I had my own room or owned my own room. So the motivation was to never sleep on the floor again. And that was wired in my brain. I never had a reliable car, so I would take the bus everywhere. And so once I graduated Camden County College, CCC, I enrolled at Rowan University. The rowing grind was real. I was a commuter, and I lived about 30 to 45 minutes from campus. My car at the time wasn't working my first year at Rowan, so I had to take 2 buses and 1 train to get to school. Waking up 4 a.m. in the morning to get to class at 7 a.m. was crazy. Also, at this time, I was working full-time. And so I would take my classes on Tuesday and Thursday because those was my days off. And then the rest of the days, I would work at Virtua Health. Some people would have quit at this time, but I was motivated to create my own path for myself because people already said the path that I was going to go down as a youngling. Throughout this journey, I had help. My best friends, Justin and Jeff, were key at this time. Jeff let me borrow one of his cars to go to school and my summer internship. Justin, he let me crash on his couch most nights. He used to take me here and there. And these are the things I'm deeply grateful for because these things shaped me as a person and as a man. Some people are motivated for material things that don't mean anything because you can't take these things with you. At this time, 2021, people are motivated because of social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. There's more outlets than that. And so basically social media is being used for false hopes, making people show off what they have or what you think they have. Social media should be used for positivity, which most of the time it is. Promotion, marketing, networking, showing you how to do things, teaching, tools, and everything. That's what social media should be doing. But on this platform, my platform is here to motivate, teach, and bring awareness. In 2020 and 21, I learned a lot watching YouTube, going through the motions of creating a podcast, learning how to do audio, video, and all of these things, being motivated to just learn something new, do something that I never did before, which that motivation was just like, damn. And when you see people doing it on a regular basis, oh, that's all you need to do? Yes, a lot of these things do take time, video editing and audio editing, creating marketing pictures and all of that for social media and creating a website and creating merch and all of that stuff that I created. That stuff do take time. And that grind is something that you can't take for granted, because a lot of people that are entrepreneurs that do this stuff full time, and it takes time. It takes a lot of patience to understand and then be self-taught and teach yourself how to do a lot of these things. And man, the respect, you have to give respect to these creators and these people that are entrepreneurs that's out here grinding with their businesses and everything else, man. It's a different type of grind when you have your own business and you have to eat. Your family has to eat, and it's really different. And my top 6 motivators that I look at to say, man, these people, they really put out their thoughts and they really teach a lot of people a lot of things on how to get it and how to do it. Number 1, Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey the Great. R.I.P. to Nipsey. He was one of those people that he was basically self-taught, but he was one of those people that gave his all to show people another way. And he taught a lot in his interviews. If you go back to his past interviews, man, he's breaking it down. Like it's like a whole university course on just life. This guy taught us a lot of things on how to move, how to create, how to move in the music industry, how to be independent, how to sell your stuff. And I still have to download his reading list and get on his books that he read to get to the point where he was when he passed. Number 2 is Joe Budden. Joe Budden is that boy, man. Like I said in my other podcast, he like the godfather of podcasting. For us, he broke everything down. He taught, he showed you how to create your own lane. Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about everybody else. And that's one thing, man. He's showing all the podcasters the way. He's showing you what to do, how to do it, creating. He's talking about it. And so a lot of people need to give that boy his flowers right now, because he made it. He made a way for everybody to get paid being a podcaster and a creative. Number 3, Rick Ross, man. His boss talk is just, if you don't get motivated just for how he speaks and what he says and how to get it, and it's a little flashy, but he grind to get that. And it's all motivation, motivational purposes only. He talks, he shows you, look, I got these wing stops, these checkers, all of this stuff, man. And he was one of the main dudes that brung all those rappers together. Meek Mill, Wale, he created MMG. Like, he created a lot of sound out there, putting everybody together. And number 4, Gary V, YouTube genius, the motivator of motivators. He will have you believing that you can walk through a brick wall for real. Like, that boy Gary V is serious, man. I just be watching him. Like, he just sit there and just, you can do it. Like, just do it. Step in the water and just do it. Who cares? Who cares if it's not the best right now? That's how I think. Who cares if it's not the best right now? But if you keep on doing it consistently over and over again, or it's not even about what other people think. If you think that thing is great, and if you think what you creating is up there with the best of them, then keep on thinking that, because you know what? It's going to get there eventually. You keep on taking your time and creating what you want to create, talk about what you want to talk about, somebody going to catch on. People going to be like, oh, I want to listen to that dude because I like how he talks and I like where he's coming from with his consciousness and with all of the things that he's bringing to the table. Number 5 is Wallow 267. This guy Wallow, man, if he don't motivate you, this dude was down 20 years, got out and hit the ground running. Made all his YouTube videos off his iPhone, man. He moved a lot of barriers for a lot of people in the hood, man. If Wallow can do it, anybody can do it. But Wallow is a slick talker. And you know how those slick talkers be, man. They can talk, man. And he can talk, but when he talks, people listen because he has these experiences. He been through a lot, and people love these stories. They gravitate towards Wallow because of his story and what he brings to the table. I watched all his videos, and I still watch his interviews and stuff. The $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. I watch it because of Wallow and what he brings to the table. $1 Million Worth of Game podcast is Wallow's podcast with Gillie the Kid, or Gillie the King. And number 6 is Money Man. Man, if y'all not motivated by Money Man, he was rapping about Bitcoin for years in his rhymes. Y'all need to get on Bitcoin. Like, he rarely does interviews like that. But when he does interviews, he's spitting so much game. The game that he's really spitting is through his music. And I really listen to him if I'm driving in a car or when I'm working out, because that's that motivation, man. That boy, he's really putting music out there, just motivating us. And I remember last year when Bitcoin was only $11,000, he was telling people, yo, y'all need to buy Bitcoin. Last year when it was 11,000, now that joint almost at 60,000. Come on, man. That Bitcoin, that's a little different. That crypto is a little bit different, man. Getting into that. But like I said, that's my list. That list is a heavy hitter list. And I can go on. This is just my list of my top 6 right now. I did say my top 6 on this list, but I have to add one more. So it will be my top 7. It has to be Jim Jones, the rapper. His run right now is so motivational. He came in the game with Dipset, and they made trends with fashion, music, and all of those things. But as of right now, what he's doing in the music game, what he's doing as an entrepreneur, what he's doing, just giving that free game to all the younger people and the people that are his peers. It's something of amazing. When you break down most of his stuff that he's doing now as Vamp Fit, that's his exercising platform that he has. And then music-wise, he's arguably right now top 5 MC in the game on lyrical ability, how he picks a track, how he puts together a project. He's basically that top 5 guy right now in the game. And he also has his marijuana company, Saucy Extracts, and he has his platform of recording virtually called Quarantine Studios. And when you see him just grinding like that, he just said that he put out or has done 5 albums since quarantine, since last year. 5 albums since last year. And that doesn't include features and drops for people and hostings and all of those things that come with it. He's grinding like he doesn't have a job. But when you see that, you get motivated and you like, man, if he can do X, Y, and Z and grind like this, why can't I put my foot forward and start grinding? The Jim Jones, the Rapper podcast will be coming out, breaking down his past endeavors and what he's doing in the future. So look out for that. Like I said, this motivation thing, you will get motivated when the right people or the right thing motivates you. But as a kid, when you used to hoop, you had people that motivated you, that you looked up to. And everybody in the hood had AI, Mike Jordan and all that. But it's the same in life. You look at somebody that's doing it and you might say, damn, that's a living legend, a hero that's doing a thing, where you want to get to that point sometime in life, which you'll get to that point. You just have to put in the work. Sometimes people don't want to put in the work. And that's people that's not motivated to do better. They might be complacent with what they're doing at a particular time in life. But sometimes it might take one of your friends or somebody that you close with just to sit you down and, yo, you need to get to it. And that's what happened during this pandemic. It showed a lot of people that they can do a lot more than what they were doing. You had to be your own barber. You had to do a lot of stuff, where it is what it is. Now, like I said, it's that motivation, man. And to close out the pod, I just like to say, whoever's out there motivated, stay motivated, be motivated, continue to grind and do your thing out here, and don't let nobody knock you off your horse. This is the NBC Podcast. This is S. McCann. One.
Sound nothing like it.
So that was episode 16, Motivation. And in that episode, you can see where you can be motivated, how you can be motivated, and what it takes to be motivated. Motivation can come from anywhere, anyone, any place, anything. And so people, don't forget to go get that merch at www.nothingbutconvos.com. And with that, people, stay safe, give respect, and show love. One.